Hello and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, but we're back. So today we're looking at something we've already explored on the channel. So it's a car kit, 1/24th scale, however. And before we get into this, let me quickly say, well, we haven't had an upload for so long. So we wanted to upload a 1/32 SU25 UB from Trumpeter. However, that video was very long, 1 hour 35 I'm pretty sure, and everything was done, all recorded, all audio recorded and so on, but YouTube didn't let the videos process, and well, that happened, and that just wasted so much time. And then again, school has been in the way, start of year 11 and so on, so that's making us a bit busier. But today we finally have a video, and it's this beautiful Toyota TS-020 GT-1 from Tamiya, used in the 1998, I'm pretty sure, WEC season. And it's a beautiful car if you look at it. The colours are classic red white Toyota. Obviously you can think of that as Marlboro also, but it's not. But that's what I think when I think red and white race car. And as we look what's in the box, let me just tell you some backstory for the car. So it's from the GT-1 class, which is the which is the same as the LMGTP class, and it was designed by Andre de Cortanzi. I hope I'm saying that right. And it was the predecessor was the TS-010, with it being successed by the TS-030, which was a hybrid car. So there's a big difference between this 98-99 car all the way to the hybrid era. The car was powered by a 3.6 litre V8 twin turbocharged engine, so pretty nice size. And that had an output of 600 horsepower, which is, well, pretty fine if you think of it. This car is driven by a lot of Japanese drivers, like, well, let me read these names: Ukyo Katayama, Toshio Suzuki, and Keiichi Tsuchiya. But as well, it was driven by some of the drivers that I know, for example Martin Brundle, who now does all the F1 stuff for Sky. And well, it's nice seeing a more known name, if you can say it like that, driving this. The car came very close to winning the 1998 Le Mans. However, well, I remember that something happened with the tyre or something like that, and well, they didn't finish. That's, well, pretty sad if you ask me, because this car is one of the better cars out there by then, one of the more powerful ones, and it's sad seeing such an iconic car never actually getting a win. Whilst I was discussing the story of the car, you can see me starting to assemble the engine, which is as most car kits go nowadays. This engine is, as I've mentioned, a 3.6 litre V8, so pretty decently sized. And here, number one mistake, trying to glue chrome parts with regular plastic cement. It does not work, and I don't know why I even tried, because I ended up having to use super glue for some of them anyways, as I'm not going to try sanding off the chrome. Here is the exhaust, and it's a pretty long exhaust, and there's two, as usually, one from each side. Here I was slightly struggling. However, this is, as I've mentioned, because I was trying to glue it with regular Tamiya extra thin, and it's gonna fall apart anyways. And here it's done. I cut the video and glued it with super glue because that was not working anyways. The exhaust is pretty nicely shaped, but it's pretty complex as well. Here are the gear pads, well, not gear, brake pads I mean. And the construction is pretty nice. They fit very well, as everything in this Tamiya kit. Also, whilst I've got time, please make sure to leave a comment, as I just love interacting with the viewers by responding possibly to your comments, as I do to all comments. But I've also seen that I'm getting quite a bit of bot comments lately on my KV1 What's in the Box video, even though that was released ages ago. So I don't know what that's about, but it's just more views, I guess, and comments for the algorithm. Here I'm gluing the suspension bars, arms, onto the front, and all of this in real life was made from carbon fibre, so it was a pretty lightweight car. Here is the main, the body, the top, and you'll see my rookie error in a bit. Well, we're back on the engine then, and here it is primed black, which is the usual procedure for anything I do. I'm using this Vallejo size 1 paintbrush, not too big, not too small, and it came with a set of Vallejo paints anyway, so just get it there for free basically if you buy some paints. This silver was ammo mix, I think aluminium, but since recording this, which was some time ago, I've gotten a Mr. Color Super Chrome, I think it is, and that's way better. I've used it on an upcoming car video. Sorry for all of these car videos if you're not particularly interested in them, but I just managed to pick up quite a few, and since they don't take that long to make, and I wanted to have a break from armour, it's the perfect choice, is it not? The red here was questionable because I wasn't going to go out and buy a red just to paint a couple of tiny parts, and it's Revel's Aqua Colour range. Yeah, if you've used them then you know what I mean. They're not particularly the best paints, and well, you can see this with a lot of modelers, so no one's going to use those if they're more experienced, let's say, because, well, there's reasons. These red marks that I put on the rims I've seen them this year in Le Mans, but I don't know what they used back then, but they just add a bit of colour, and that's the fire extinguisher inside, which is mandatory because safety. Also, if you haven't realised, I'm starting to edit videos a bit more, like cutting some bits out and, transitions and so on. I hope it's a bit of a recognisable, like, you can see the change, and I hope it increases video quality. And also leave a comment down below what you think of that and what I could change. And here's the engine with basically all the details painted. It was a pretty fun process. However, well, not having a very small brush was a bit annoying, because since recording this I've also gotten a much smaller brush which I use now. Here are the brakes being installed onto the front suspension. And this part is basically really similar to any F1 car, because, well, it still doesn't have a chassis body on it. So this part here, the exhaust, you had to line it up perfectly because the radiator, which you can see installed, would have to slot into both of the parts. So if they weren't if they weren't aligned, then it wouldn't work. Wow, the engine is on now. What a surprise. The exhausts took some encouragement to go in place because they had tiny tabs which I could just not seem to put in place, and it sort of just kept on coming on and off when I was painting later, and that was a fun process, as you'll see. Well, here I'm gonna glue the interior in, and that's a lot of super glue looking at it. The seat belts were made from masking tape, and the decals were applied. However, they didn't really go on perfectly. As you can see, the one on the left is a bit off the seat belt. However, the actual dashboard itself went on perfectly, and I'm actually pretty, let's say, mad at myself because I didn't take any picture of what it looks like inside, and because of my later mistakes you can't see any of this, even though I spent so much time painting the whole dashboard and details. So that was a bit of a waste of time, although I mean it's the satisfaction of doing it that's important after all. You can see me struggling a bit because, you know, working with super glue doesn't give you that much time to put it in place, and since I put it wrong, you could see me struggling. Well, this is the rookie mistake I was talking about. I glued the body on, and if you've made a car kit before, you know that that's a massive mistake because you cannot paint it freely, and you have to be much more cautious, mask everything off, and so on, which was a pain later, and it proved to be a bit of a major issue, as you'll see. But the engine is looking pretty nice, as you can see. I did mask the engine off successfully as I didn't get any paint under it, and the cockpit also, and the exhausts. However, that masking tape did come off later because the painting of this actually did take ages. And wow, it's primed black. That's pretty common if you ask me, but this isn't the only time you're going to see the car primed in black in the whole video because, well, because of some mistakes. The parts that were meant to stay black were then masked off, and the next top coat was put on after I show you this engine cover. I also masked the bottom off because that was meant to be carbon fibre in real life, but obviously I'm not getting carbon fibre decals because I don't have enough money. Here is the whole thing in white, and well, the paint did go down decently fine. Just as you can see, there's a lot of shadows, but it's also really glossy, as you can see with all the reflections. And now the unmasking process. I know many of you would probably want to see this in real time because it's satisfying, but trust me, it showed a lot of flaws, and also this clip itself was 10 minutes long, I think. Not 10, okay, 5 minutes long maybe, but yeah, all of this was wasted, and there's bleeding. I thought to myself, I might as well fix that. And what would you have done? Probably just probably gotten high grit sandpaper and sanded it off. That's not what my stupid brain thought of. I thought of remasking it and repainting just the front bit itself in white, and that went horribly, as you'll see. Honestly, on the rear wing, it didn't go that bad. You can see the black did stay pretty fine, but my masking is atrocious, as you have seen, and honestly, looking at it now, I probably could have done a better job, but if we don't try, then we don't know what we're capable of, and we learn from mistakes after all. And here it is unmasked. Beautiful, right? Yep, that's what I thought also. And you can see what I was talking about. Those exhausts just fell off, sort of. They stayed in place, but they were wobbling around. And wow, glossy red surface. The engine cover was pretty, not perfect, but it was good for my standards. And here I'll be applying the decal of the car I was originally going for. But it didn't really work out because it's this pretty big TS-020 decal, which, as you can see, it has to bend over it has to conform to a very large sort of bend, not a bend, but it has to fold over something, which obviously makes it harder to put in place than just on a straight surface, like on a tank side or something like that. Just wiping the dust off, sort of. Obviously you can clean the surface with a, let's say, wet wipe or anything like that, or with just a cotton bud, but it's not like you have to actually clean the surface. And here I'm putting some of the decal setting solution, and on the decal goes. Oh, it went down pretty fine. However, it was not in place, not perfectly at least, so I thought I might move it a bit, but well, that's where things went wrong now. I'll cut the video about now. Yep, I am redoing the same thing, as you can see, but this time it's going to be a different decal because that one crinkled up, and I'm all of a sudden doing the number 1 car instead of the number 3 car because, well, the decal crumpled up and there would be no point of trying to make a mismatch, just all the decals different. So I thought I might as well just go for the Martin Brundle and whoever else drove it. I can't name you anyone else. this is after painting it again, and this is one of the worst modelling decisions I've made. That looks even worse, doesn't it? How could that happen, right? How could I paint white and then red bleeds through? It doesn't make sense, but well, it's because I'm not experienced with car kits. So I'm still, unmasking it, blue tack, everything. And, well, a lot of masking tape went into this without any substantially fulfilling or good results. And with knowing what happens, well, I'm just sort of laughing whilst watching it. Well, as I was saying, what would you have done? Would you have kept it like that, repainted it, primed it? Well, I ended up going for the more armor orientated method, sort of, and weathering. Yes, that's what I like, don't I? And also, as it says in the corner, if you're enjoying, please make sure to like and subscribe or comment or whatever, because it just helps the algorithm, especially that I haven't had a video in ages, so YouTube sort of forgets about me sometimes. But yeah, as I said, message from me. I am now gonna go into the armor orientated bit, weathering with pigments and oils. Yes, these are the oils I was talking about. These are just normal artist oils from The Works, I think, UK orientated store if you don't know that. And any cheap oils will work, as at least in my case it does. Just use a bit of white spirit on a brush and just in the direction of airflow. And here is the pigment part of it that I was talking about. I came back from holiday before doing the weathering, so I had 2 weeks of a break from this kit, and then I came back fresh and ready to not ruin it, but I would say hide my mistakes. And obviously some or most will say this is way too heavy, but I love the way it looks, and well, just otherwise it's too vibrant for my likings. And also a mistake you can see is that I put blue tack over the decal, which, yep, that did not work, because when I was taking the blue tack off I ripped the decal. And well, we're done. My viewers, let's say. This was a very wild and different project for me, but well, it's over. I hope you enjoyed, and well, I'm not promising a lot of videos for the, let's say, next couple of weeks, because exams coming up in school and so on, and also, well, just don't have the time right now. But 1 year anniversary of our first video is coming out very soon. I suspect it's literally couple days, so I'll show my tiny stash of couple kits and show what we've done on the channel over this year. And well, we couldn't do it without you guys, the viewers, and mainly our subscribers. So thank you for watching and have a great day. Goodbye.